Good morning, beloved soul. May the light of heaven embrace you as this new morning dawns. May the peace of the Lord fill every corner of your heart. For those who begin their day with faith will end it surrounded by hope. Dear ones, have you ever awakened feeling too weak to carry on? Has your hope felt like it's fading little by little? Has peace seemed as distant as a dream? Sometimes the soul grows weary from waiting. But it is precisely in that silence, in that surrender, where God begins to move. Romans 15 verse 13 reminds us, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." This is not just a promise. It is a divine reminder that peace and hope are not born from what we see, but from whom we trust. When your faith feels small, the Holy Spirit comes to sustain it. When your mind is overwhelmed with anxiety, God's peace calms it, like the sea obeying His voice. A morning invitation from heaven. This morning prayer is an invitation from heaven to begin your day with confidence. Let go of fear. Breathe deeply. Believe that God is still writing your story. Faith doesn't ignore the storms. It simply remembers who is in the boat. Even though the day is just beginning, the Lord has already prepared a fresh dose of hope for you, an invisible embrace of peace and supernatural strength to move forward. Before we begin this prayer, take a step of faith. Write in the comments below, "Lord, fill my heart with faith, hope, and peace." That small gesture is your spiritual declaration for today. It's your way of saying, "I don't know how, but I know in whom I believe." If this prayer touches your heart, like it, share it, and subscribe so we can pray together every morning. Because when faith is shared, hope multiplies. So breathe. The day begins and you are not alone. God goes before you, and His peace, the peace that surpasses all understanding, will guard your mind, your home, and your path. A prayer of faith, hope, and peace. Beloved Lord, as I awaken to this new morning, my soul bows before you with a sigh that longs for your presence. I don't want to begin this day without pausing to acknowledge that you are my source, my breath, my reason for being. As the light of dawn touches the earth and shadows retreat, I feel my spirit yearning for that divine clarity that only you can give. O Eternal Father, pour out upon me today that quiet joy that doesn't depend on circumstances. Grant me that peace that remains steady despite the winds of the world, a peace anchored in your promise. Today I lift my heart to say, I trust you even when I don't understand. I wait even when I cannot see, because I've learned that faith is not a refuge from reality. It is a flame that helps me walk through it without losing my way. On uncertain days you remind me, the path of the righteous is like the morning light, shining ever brighter till the full day. Proverbs 4 verse 18. I cling to that word, believing that even if the night has been long, the spiritual dawn is rising over my life. Let my faith become movement. Lord, let my faith today not be limited to words, but become movement, gratitude, obedience. Teach me to walk without rushing, to not fear the silences, to accept the processes I don't yet understand. I want to live with the certainty that in everything that happens to me, there is a hidden purpose, a seed of eternity you have planted for good. When doubt visits me, remind me I do not walk alone. When fatigue tries to silence my prayer, breathe with your spirit and reignite the flame of love that never goes out. Today I also pray for those who feel on the edge of discouragement, for those who begin their day with a heavy soul and unspoken worries. Lord, wrap their hearts, touch their wounds, renew their strength. Let them feel that even in the chaos, you remain the God of hope. You are the God who promises, I will make rivers flow on barren heights and springs within the valleys. Isaiah 41 verse 18. What comfort it is to know that no desert is eternal when your presence is near. Even in the dry places of our story, a fountain of life springs forth when the soul surrenders to you. A morning of gratitude and trust. Good morning, Father. I want to begin this day with gratitude. Let my first word not be complaint, but praise. I don't want to focus on what I lack, but bless you for what I have. Thank you for the air I breathe, for the small miracles that go unnoticed, for the gestures of love you send me in everyday moments. A smile, a hug, an opportunity. Thank you for the gift of time, which is reborn in my hands today like a blank page, ready to write a new story with you. And if today, Lord, a shadow of sadness tries to surround me, remind me that hope is not denial of reality. It is the light of your truth shining through it. Let every tear I shed be a seed of something greater. Let every waiting season become worship. Help me see the future with eyes of faith, not fear. Because if you are with me, tomorrow cannot be dark. A life anchored in you. O beloved God, in this moment I place everything in your hands. My projects, my thoughts, my decisions, my inner battles. Because I know that when I surrender, I find rest. When I trust, I am healed. When I wait for you, I grow. Let your spirit guide me. Let your voice be the compass that directs my steps. Let your peace be the atmosphere where my soul finds rest. I ask you to bless this day with meaningful encounters, with doors that open, with silences that teach, with challenges that strengthen. May simple joy never be lacking, nor the deep certainty that you are working, even when I don't perceive it. Lord, if I cross paths with someone who needs encouragement, make me an instrument of your comfort. If someone loses hope, let my words reflect yours. If someone cries in silence, let my presence be a hug and a prayer. Teach me to love as you love, without measure, without conditions, without expecting anything in return. Final surrender. And now, Father, as I prepare to face the world, I give you my thoughts so they may be firm, my words so they may build, and my hands so they may serve. Let everything in me speak of you. Let my life be a testimony of the peace that only you give. If this prayer has touched your heart, write in the comments, God, fill me today with hope and peace. Let it be an act of faith and trust in the Lord. Because in the midst of all uncertainty, one truth remains. You are with me, God of hope, and nothing can separate me from your love. Thank you, beloved Father. Now that my heart has quieted before you, I feel my soul begin to breathe a different air, the air of your presence. That gentle breath brings rest where there was anxiety and calm where there was fear. Lord, I don't want my faith to be just a beautiful idea, but a deep root that sustains me when the winds of the world try to knock me down. I want to live anchored in you, not in my emotions or my plans, because only in you do I find stability, meaning, and direction. You know every corner of my heart, the places still dry, the memories that weigh me down, the fears that sometimes disguise themselves as caution. Today I bring them all before you, no masks, no excuses. I surrender them because I no longer want to carry them alone. What doesn't belong to me? You are the God who transforms burdens into wisdom, pain into purpose, and wounds into testimony. Teach me to rest in that truth. Sometimes, Lord, I feel my hope fading slowly, like a lamp running out of oil. But then I remember your word. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out. Isaiah 42 verse 3. What comfort it is to know you won't discard me for being weak. You don't withdraw your hand from those barely able to rise. You draw near, gently breathe upon the nearly extinguished flame, and cause it to burn again. Do that with me today, Lord. Breathe your spirit into my soul so it may burn once more, with love, with faith, with hope. For those who feel lost. Father, I also pray for those who feel directionless today. For those who woke up with a heavy silence inside, for those who pray without sensing a response. Let them know that silence is not absence, but a different way of speaking. Sometimes you are quiet not because you aren't listening, but because you are working in the unseen. When your voice feels distant, your faithfulness still holds the story together. Teach me to wait without impatience, to trust even when time feels long. You are the eternal God, and your ways are not governed by human clocks. Eyes to see the small things. In the process, help me notice the small things. The sunrise that renews hope, the laughter that breaks fatigue, the helping hand that arrives just in time. You speak through details too, and I want attentive eyes not to miss them. If my faith has become routine, awaken me. If I've prayed in haste, teach me to linger. If I've lost my sense of wonder, show me your glory in the simple things. I don't want to grow accustomed to living without feeling you, nor settle for a faith without fire. I long for a living relationship, a constant communion, a love that grows daily, even in the midst of trials. Whispers of trust. And when my mind races ahead, seeking solutions before their time, whispers to my soul, "Trust, I am still here." Let that phrase be my refuge, my shield, my certainty. No fear can withstand the reminder that the God who governs the universe also cares for my life with tenderness. You've spoken a promise I want to hold on to today. A peaceful heart gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Proverbs 14 verse 30. Teach me, Lord, to cultivate that inner peace that comes from trusting you. Let my heart not compare nor be filled with anxiety or jealousy, but live light, free, and grateful. Faith without demands. I want that peaceful heart, not because everything is perfect, but because I know everything is in your hands, eternal Father. Thank you for guiding me even when I don't understand. Thank you that even without seeing the full map, I can keep moving forward, trusting your light will reveal the next step. Today, I choose to walk by faith without demanding certainty, knowing that trust doesn't require explanations. And if my spirit grows restless during the day, remind me to return to you, not with grand words, but with a simple sigh that says, "Here I am." Sometimes that's all it takes. A surrendered breath that opens the door for your peace to enter again. Hope beyond sight. Today, Father, I declare that my hope does not depend on what I see, but on what I believe. My joy doesn't come from what I possess, but from knowing you sustain me. Even if the day brings challenges, my soul will sing, because I know in whom I've placed my trust. If this prayer has touched your heart, write in the comments, "Lord, renew my faith and ignite my hope." Let it be an act of surrender and trust, because when the soul yields to God, even the most ordinary days become quiet miracles of love and faithfulness. Surrendering control. Now, as I continue in this prayer, my soul begins to recognize how often I've tried to control what only you can order. I've tried to understand what belongs to your mystery. I've searched for answers when what I truly needed was rest in your presence. Today I pause, not to surrender to weariness, but to surrender to you. Because only in the silence of faith does my heart find clarity, and only in your shadow does the soul learn to rest. Quieting the mind. Oh, beloved Father, sometimes the noise in my mind is louder than your voice. My thoughts race, fearing the future, recalling wounds, imagining scenarios that haven't happened. Yet in your infinite patience, you teach me that faith doesn't need noise. Miracles germinate in stillness, like seeds beneath the soil. So today I choose to quiet my thoughts and let you speak. You said in your word, "The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail." Isaiah 58 verse 11. What a profound promise, Lord. It reminds me that guidance doesn't come from the path, but from your presence. It doesn't matter if the terrain is dry or uncertain. If you are there, everything blooms. A garden of grace. Let my life be that well-watered garden, receiving your living water at the perfect time. May others find shade in what you've cultivated in me, eternal God. Teach me to recognize your hand even when I don't see it. When life feels like a path without signs, when my prayers seem to vanish into the air. Remind me that your silence is not absence, but planting. Every prayer I speak is a seed falling into heaven's soil, and in its time, it will bear fruit. The beauty of waiting. Sometimes, Lord, I fear the passage of time. I fear delayed promises, wasted efforts, and days that feel repetitive and empty. But in those moments, you remind me, the end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 8. Thank you for showing me that endings with you are always more beautiful than beginnings. Waiting is not punishment. It's a school where faith matures and the soul learns to let go. Today, Lord, I want that patient spirit. not passive patience but active trust. A faith that prays, serves, and keeps believing. Faith that endures. Each sunrise is a chance to begin again. Each night is an invitation to trust once more in your faithfulness. You know, Father, the inner battles no one sees. The nights when the mind won't quiet. The tears hidden behind a smile, the nameless fears. In those moments, remind me I'm not alone. You are near to the brokenhearted, and you collect every tear as a seed of faith. I don't want a faith that depends on circumstances, but one that flourishes in the midst of them. A faith that doesn't break under delay or fade in adversity. A faith that trembles but never retreats. Let me say, like Job, even without understanding, I know my Redeemer lives. An altar of trust. Father of comfort, teach me to pray without words, to love without conditions, to wait without complaint. Let my soul become an altar where only you reign, and where every thought becomes an offering. When my strength runs out, let it be your spirit that lifts me. When my plans fall apart, let it be your will that rebuilds. Thank you for not defining me by my mistakes, but by your love. Grace beyond my failures. Thank you, Lord, for not measuring me by my failures, but by your grace that lifts me. Even when I don't know what to pray for, your Spirit intercedes for me with groanings too deep for words. Today I want to walk without rushing, trusting that every step guided by you carries purpose. Help me see this day through the lens of gratitude, even when things remain unresolved. Let me remember that as long as my heart beats, your promises are still in motion. A prayer for every season. Father, if this day brings challenges, grant me serenity to face them. If it brings unexpected news, give me faith to receive it. If it brings silence, teach me to listen. And if it brings joy, let me not forget to thank you, because every good thing comes from you, and even the difficult things can be used for my good. Make my life a constant melody of trust, a continuous prayer that doesn't rely on words but flows from the rhythm of my soul. May my days become a testimony of your faithfulness, and may others see in me what a heart fully surrendered to its Creator looks like. If this prayer speaks to your spirit, write in the comments, I trust you, Lord, even in the silence. Let it be an act of faith, a seed declaring that even if you haven't seen the miracle yet, you still believe God is working in the unseen. Deeper waters of prayer. My God, as I continue praying this morning, I feel you drawing me deeper, into that sacred place where words fall short, where the soul stands bare before you and acknowledges its fragility. I don't come to you demanding answers, but as one who longs to breathe in your presence. You know every crack in my heart, every dry place waiting for the dew of your Spirit. There is no hidden corner from you, Lord. Even in my confusion, my weariness, and scattered thoughts, your voice still calls me tenderly, reminding me that hope is not dead and the soul can be reborn. The God who rebuilds. There are moments, God, when life feels chaotic, when everything that once had form seems to lie in ruins. But I've learned that you are the God who rebuilds from the rubble. I don't need to have it all together to be loved. I only need to be willing to be transformed. So today I surrender my chaos, my fears, my failed attempts, and my unresolved longings. Make my weakness a canvas for your power, because only you can bring meaning to what feels senseless. Your word declares in Nahum 1 verse 7, the Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble. He cares for those who trust in him. What a sweet and profound truth. You are not only our strength when all is well. You are our refuge when tears weigh more than words, when the soul cannot explain its own pain. Victory in the rising. In those days of anguish, you don't withdraw. You draw near. You know not only our prayers, but our pauses. Not only our words, but our silences. Micah 7 verse 8 says, though I have fallen, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light. What a living promise. It doesn't deny the fall or hide the darkness. It affirms the victory. It reminds me that the process doesn't end in the stumble, but in the rising. That even if there is darkness, it is not eternal, because you rise as light over those who trust in you. So today, Lord, I rise, not because I feel strong, but because I know in whom I have believed. I rise on a faith that doesn't depend on emotions, but on your living word. I rise with my eyes fixed on you, knowing your love never abandons me, your purpose hasn't stopped, and your grace is still enough. A cleansing prayer. Beloved Father, cleanse my heart of everything that hinders my faith. Remove the anxiety that makes me focus only on problems, the fear that paralyzes me, the pride that keeps me from asking for help, and the doubt that weakens my prayers. Breathe over me, Holy Spirit, like a gentle wind that renews the strength of the weary. Let everything withered in my soul receive new life in your presence. You are not a God who forgets, but a God who remembers the promises made to your children. Even when I lose my way, your faithfulness finds me. Even when I drift, your grace follows me. That's why I can pray without fear, because I know that while I'm praying, you are already working. Learning to wait again. Today, Lord, I want to relearn how to wait, not with impatience, but with trust. Waiting doesn't mean resignation. It means active rest in your will. Teach me to live this season without comparing myself to others, without assuming you've forgotten me, without measuring your love by the outcomes I see. I simply want to remain in you, because I know that in that abiding there is victory. When my mind grows restless about the future, remind me that you're already there. When my heart longs to return to the past, show me that you were there too, healing, guiding, redeeming. Let my soul live in the present, in the sacred now where you reveal yourself, where your voice still whispers hope, where peace doesn't depend on circumstances but on your unchanging faithfulness. Eyes to see differently. On this day, renew my vision. Let my eyes not only see the wound, but the hand that heals it. Let me not only see the drought, but the small cloud that announces rain. Let me not only see the dark path, but the lamp of your word guiding me step by step. Give me faith to keep walking even when I can't see the end. Give me trust to let go even when I don't understand why. Thank you because every time I pray, something moves in heaven, even if I don't see it. Thank you because my prayer doesn't vanish into the wind, but reaches your throne like a fragrant offering. Thank you because no sincere prayer goes unanswered, even if the answer looks different than I imagined. A declaration of trust. Today, Lord, I declare that I trust you more than my senses. I believe in your goodness more than my circumstances. I cling to your word more than my fears. My hope is not in what I can see, but in the one who sees beyond. Eternal Father, take this new day and make it holy, not because of what happens, but because of your presence in it. If the day brings trials, may my faith stand firm. If it brings joy, may my heart be grateful. If it brings silence, may my soul worship. Everything that happens in my life is under your gaze, and nothing escapes your plan of love. A story of restoration. Let my story, even with its wounds, become a testimony of restoration. May others, seeing me stand firm, understand that it's not my strength but your grace. If this prayer touched your heart, write in the comments, "Though I fall, I will rise in the name of the Lord." Let it be an act of faith, declaring that nothing can extinguish the light God has ignited within you. The God of eternal hope. Father, Lord of eternal hope, I come before you once again with a heart seeking rest amid life's shifting winds. There are moments, Father, when the soul feels like dry ground waiting for the first drops of rain. Yet even in that silent waiting, I know you are still working, because your faithfulness doesn't depend on emotional weather or human circumstances. You remain the same God who holds the universe together by the word of your power. O Father, when my strength fails, teach me to remember that your love never runs out, that your grace has no end. Let my weariness not drive me away from you, but become a doorway through which your peace enters. Let every breath be a reminder that there is still purpose, there is still promise, there is still life that rises beneath your gaze. Your word declares in Habakkuk 3 verse 19, "The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer, he enables me to tread on the heights." O Lord, when the valley feels deep, grant me that spiritual lightness that allows me to rise above fear, above doubt, above sorrow. Let my feet not stumble in the darkness, for you make me steady upon the rock of faith. Sometimes, my God, the human soul feels as though it's walking in circles, trapped without an exit. Yet in those moments when everything seems closed, you open paths where none exist. You've promised that nothing can separate us from your love. Not anguish, not illness, not the shadows of the past. In you we find both our roots and our destiny. Eyes fixed on the eternal. Teach me, Lord, to fix the gaze of my soul on what is eternal. Let me not be consumed by what is temporary, by what shifts, by what disappoints. May my heart find peace in the invisible, where your spirit dwells, where your wisdom rests. Let every tear I shed become a seed of hope, watered by the dew of your presence. Beloved Father, I want to learn to live from the serenity that only you can give, a serenity not shaped by the noise of the world, but by the silence of your voice. Let my inner being become a garden nourished by your word, where trust and gratitude bloom. Breath of renewal, give me your spirit, Lord. It is the wind that renews my thoughts, the breath that gives life to my weary bones. Breathe into my soul today and cleanse every impurity that clouds my vision. Align my mind with your will and let my steps follow the rhythm of your divine compass. Your word also declares in Psalm 119 verse 165, "Great peace has those who love your law, and nothing can make them stumble." Lord, I want to be among those who love your word, not as a duty but as a refuge. Let the law of love, which is Christ himself, govern my decisions, my thoughts, and my emotions. May I not stumble on the path of doubt or stray toward pride. Healing the invisible. Today I ask, Lord, heal the invisible wounds, those that don't bleed but still ache. Restore what has been broken. Straighten what has been bent. Help me walk with humility and strength. Let every step be marked by your light, and every day be an opportunity to see your goodness in the smallest details. Let my faith not depend on outcomes but on your presence. Let my hope not rest in what I can control, but in the glorious truth that you are with me, even in uncertain days. Teach me to live with confidence, knowing that in your timing, everything blooms, everything finds meaning, everything is transformed for good. Faith in the silence. And if my soul grows weary in the waiting, remind me that I do not wait in vain. Every moment in your presence strengthens my roots and prepares my heart for what you are about to do. Let me remember that the silences of God are not absences, but laboratories of faith, where the soul learns to believe beyond what is visible. O Father, I want to rest in your promise. He who began a good work will carry it on to completion. Help me release my anxieties and receive the fullness of your peace. Let the inner noise be silenced, fear dissolve, and faith rise. Because even if I cannot see the end of the road, I know you are already there, waiting with open arms. If this prayer has touched your heart and you feel God renewing you from within, write in the comments, "Lord, my hope is in you." Declare it as an act of faith, and let your testimony inspire others to trust in His love. A sacred silence of gratitude. Beloved Father, as I reach the end of this morning prayer, my soul feels a sacred silence, not emptiness but fullness. It's the moment when I have nothing more to ask, only to thank. Thank you for your constancy, for your tenderness that never tires of seeking me, for your faithfulness that doesn't depend on my successes but on your unchanging love. Today I lay before you all that I am, all that I have, and all that I still hope for. I don't want to live this day driven by fear, but guided by faith. I don't want my thoughts to dominate me, but for your Spirit to lead my steps. I want to walk slowly but surely, knowing that with every breath, you are near, reminding me I am not alone, that my life is upheld by your grace. You are my horizon. You, Lord, are my horizon when I lose direction, my route when the storm blows. You are my shelter when life feels inhospitable, my refuge when the days grow heavy. In you I find rest, not because everything is perfect, but because your peace teaches me to rest even when I don't understand the process. Let this new dawn not be just another morning, but a spiritual turning point. Let something ignite within me, a more vibrant faith, a firmer hope, a deeper peace. May every decision today be guided by your wisdom. May my words sow life and my attitude reflect your goodness. The God who rejoices over us. Your word says in Zephaniah 3 verse 17, "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing." What an astonishing promise! To know that you, the God of the universe, rejoice over us, that you never tire of loving us, that your silence is not absence but contains tenderness. Today I want to rest in that truth. You are in my midst, and that is enough. Thank you that I don't need to understand everything to trust. Thank you that hope doesn't depend on what I see but on what I believe. Thank you that every new day brings fresh mercies, and every night leaves behind a testimony of your faithfulness, a life anchored in peace. Father, help me not lose my calm when the world tries to drag me into haste. Teach me not to compete but to trust, not to despair but to wait. Give me wisdom to listen before I speak, to serve before I demand, to forgive before I judge. Let my hands today be instruments of peace, and my voice a seed of hope. Thank you for showing me that peace is not found by escaping the world, but by resting in you as I walk through it. Cover this day with your favor. Now, Father, cover this new day with your favor. Where there is fear, let your peace enter. Where there is doubt, establish your word. Where there is weariness, renew the soul's strength. Let everything I lift today reflect your love. I give you my thoughts, my words, and my actions. May each one honor your name and bring comfort to those around me. Let my presence reflect your goodness. Let my smile carry hope. Let my steps follow the direction of your spirit. If this prayer spoke to your spirit, write in the comments, "God is in my midst and I will not fear." Declare it as an act of faith to seal in heaven what your heart has received today. And let this prayer not end here, Lord, but continue in every breath of the day, in every act of love, in every word of gratitude. For you are my beginning, my path, and my destiny. Thank you for praying with me this morning. If you felt the presence of God during this prayer and his words strengthened your heart, I invite you to subscribe, leave a like, and share this video. By doing so, you help spread the peace and love of the Lord to many others who need it. Write in the comments, "God is in my midst and I will not fear." Declare it as an act of faith and hope, a spiritual seed that affirms your trust in him. Come back each day to begin your mornings with a powerful prayer, guided by the Word and the Holy Spirit. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and cause his face to shine upon you.